Hello. In this video, I'm going to try to show you how to download and install the CM93 charts that have been converted to MCG or Marine Cruising Guide charts for a marine plotter. The first thing we need to do is we need to download a copy of the CM93 charts. Now, right now, I'm making these available on my Dropbox site. And to get there, I'll show you how you can do it. And now you can either do this with Microsoft Internet Explorer or with Firefox. It doesn't matter. I'm going to use Firefox. And up here in the corner of the screen where the address bar is, I've already got this on the clipboard, so I'm just going to paste it in. But then I'm going to come in real close and show you exactly the address that you should type in to your browser. Okay, now once you have that typed in, you would hit return. And you see you get a screen like this. It shows you go directly to the Dropbox site. And in the middle of the screen, you can see that there's a file, an icon for a file there. And below it is a button to download it. And we're going to click that button to download it. And we get a little confirmation screen. And in this case here, we're going to save the file. And we'll wait for it to download. And it's about 78 megabytes. It won't take too long, maybe 2-3 minutes, depending on your internet connection, of course. But we'll wait for it to download. All right, the file is downloaded, and now in Firefox, we're going to go to the Download Manager, which is up here in the upper right corner of the screen. We're going to select this. We're going to say Show All Downloads. And right there it is, a CM93 MCG.zip. We're going to right click on that and say Open Containing Folder. Right, and there is our CM93 file. All right, now we want to move it to the desktop so that it's easier to work with. So we're going to right click on it. Then we're going to go over here to the left and we move it to the desktop and tell it to select Move Here. It's been moved. Now we can close Windows Explorer, we can close the Download Manager, and we can close Firefox. And there on the screen on the lower left, you can see that we have CM93MCG.zip. All right, now that we've got it downloaded, we need to get it into a directory where Marine Plotter can use it. Well, first of all, let's move it over here a little bit so we can see it better. And we're going to right click on this file and then we're going to say Extract All, and it comes up with a default directory which is the same place as what we just opened it from. We're going to browse, though we don't want to put it there, and we'll select Computer, C Drive, Users, the name of the computer, which in this case is Alan, My Documents, DJM Questor software. And now we want Marine Plotter charts. Remember, we installed this directory. And now we're going to go down here and we're going to put it into this MCG root directory. We're going to click on that. And then we're going to say OK. And once everything looks fine, we're going to go ahead and extract. And we get a little progress bar and you'll see what happens. Okay, now you can see that it's finished unzipping the CM93 MCG charts into the correct folder. Now we're going to close Windows Explorer and we're going to launch Marine Plotter by double-clicking on it. And in my case, the Marine Plotter will come up in the area where my vessel's located, which is in La Paz, Baja California Sur, Mexico. All right, we need to, first of all, before we can start using these new charts, we need to set the root folder. We go over to the MCG directory, We select the folder root, and it's going to open up, and it's going to select where we had the folder root set before, which was MCG. But now we're going to click there, and that'll open up, and you can see we have CM93 MCGs inside of there. We're going to select that one. That's the ones we want. That has our new charts in it. We're going to say OK. All right, the next thing we want to do is go back to the MCG menu again. This time we're going to select catalogs. Well, nothing happened. It looks like we brought up a window that says MCG catalog CM93 MCGs, but nothing happened. The reason is we don't have a catalog yet. So we have to initialize one. And the way we do that, we go to the catalog menu, click on it, and select initialize. And you can see there are a lot of things happening. And what it's doing, it's going through all the folders, finding all of the charts that are available for us to load. And once it finds them all and gets them all cataloged, this will stop, and then we'll go on. Okay, it's all done. You can see up here, it has found about 480 charts in that directory, and it's cataloged 480 of 641, which is about right. Don't forget, some of the charts are actually doubles or triples or whatever. Okay, now we're going to want to go to the catalog menu, and we want to do a save as. We're going to save our catalog, and let's just call it Marine MCG Product Catalog for right now. We're going to click Save, and we've saved it. And at this point now, well, you say what to do next. Well, at this point here, we can click the region button. And the region button will bring up a world coastline map. But you can see there's a whole bunch of little red squares here in the middle. Well, that's all of the charts that we currently have in our directory. And the way we can look at them, first of all, let's go up here to the zoom in rectangle button. Click it. And go to an area where approximately where we are. And I'm going to hold down the left mouse button, drag, let go. Okay, and obviously that's not where I want to be, so let's click the thumb button here, or the hand button, and now we can click the left mouse button, hold it down, drag to the center, and you see we drag the whole image. Let's drag it once more and get the La Paz area into view. All right, you can see here that there's a large scale chart of the La Paz area and the Sea of Cortez, and there's also, it looks like there's two smaller scale charts. Okay, now you notice when I mouse over these, you notice how in right next to the cursor, it tells me how many charts are in that box. In this case, there's one chart. In that case, there's two charts. In that case, there's two charts. Okay, first of all, let's load the overall chart. And how we do that is we right click once it's highlighted, and down here to the second item, we say open chart or charts. And there's a little confirmation box here for us to open that chart, and we say OK. And there it did it. It just loaded in the overlay chart that's the large scale chart rather, and it's drawn it right over the top of our Google Map image. Before we go any further, let's close this before we get any further in here, and close this window too so we can see where we are. All right. Now, the amount of Google Earth, Google Map image that you're able to see depends on what you have the transparency set. And we could click on the MCG menu, go down to transparency, and you see I currently have it set for 0.4, but if you think that's too much, you can click the little down arrow and you can say, okay, I don't want it 0.4, I want it more like 0.6. And you see the transparency amount has changed. Now the large scale chart doesn't have a lot of detail, but it does give you some indication here in the Bay of La Paz what the bottom composition is. You can see there's mud and there's mud sand, And these circles here, these are sector circles. And what that does is for these lights that you see in the middle of the circle, that shows the area where those lights can be seen from. For instance, like this one down here at the bottom, it can only be seen from this direction around to this direction, where this one here can be seen in all around 360 degrees. All right, now we're going to show you how to get more detailed charts. In this case here, I'm going to get more detailed charts of the La Paz channel going out toward Pichilinque. All right, we're going to go over here to zoom rectangle, and we're going to zoom in on this area right here. Okay, and now we want to go up here to MCG, and this, we've already got a catalog, so we can go to the graphical selector right away. And you move your cursor over here, and you'll see your selection boxes. Now you notice this time here, you notice this one here gets not only has a red box around it, but it also gets highlighted in the middle with a red color. Where this one here, you notice it doesn't have a red box around it, even though my cursor is over it, and there's no red color in the middle. Well, that's because we've already loaded this chart. So let's go down here to one of these charts down here, and you see it does have a selection box around it. We're going to right click, and we're going to open that chart. And you can see here that it's telling you that it's actually two charts that are stacked on top of each other. For right now, let's open them both. Okay, there's part of what we want. And we're going to go to this one too, and it says it's also two charts by the little hint thing that said there on the screen. And we can see you have a selection box. So we'll right click and we'll open that chart or charts. And again, it says we have two charts stacked on top of each other, and we're going to say, okay, open them both. Okay, now let's close the graphical selector. And you can see now we have a lot more detail of the La Paz entrance channel. In fact, there's somewhat too much detail. For instance, you see there's a lot of, because there's actually two charts on top of each other. You notice that it's doubling up the text and stuff like that. Part of that's because there's two charts. Part of it, in fact, let's see if what part it is. Okay, we can go over here to the file menu. We can have close charts. Now, it's going to list the charts in this list. This is the first chart we opened, and this would be the last chart we opened. So let's turn off one of the last charts we opened. And, well, actually, you know what? I'm actually changing my mind. If I check that and say OK, it'll actually unload that chart, so I can't use it again without loading it again. So instead of doing that, I'm going to go up here to the View menu, and I'm going to go to Open Charts. What that means, it's going to bring up a window where I can view what charts are open. And again, we see that same list. Move it off to the side so we can see what happens. And that same list, and we're going to go for the very last chart we opened, which was this one. Uncheck it and say Apply. Now you notice that chart, you notice now we don't have the double text, and we don't have as much interference in here. There might be some data missing, some depths missing, that kind of thing. Let's see what it is. Let's turn that last chart back on and turn off the one just before it and see what that has. Apply. Okay, now it's a little bit different. See, it has a little bit different depths in here. To see this better, let me zoom in again. You notice I still have the zoom rectangle turned on. It's now yellow instead of blue. That means it's turned on. So let me zoom in a little bit more in that area. And, well, even that's not much, so let's go at a single step. Okay, now you can see that, you see how there's some depths showing that are in the actual channel. Okay, so let's see if the other one has that. Let's again turn that chart off, turn that chart on rather, turn this chart off, and apply that. And now you see there's even more information in the channel. So let's keep that one. I like that one the best. And the same. Let's do the same thing for these charts over here on this side. In that case, it would be this one and this one. Let's turn that one off and apply it. Okay. Now you can see more things, and you can have a better idea what the channel looks like. Again, you can still see through these charts. You can still see the Google Map images underneath. So you can see how well the charts are drawn compared to the actual satellite image. All right. Now, with this setup like this here, we can now use all the other features of Marine Plotter. We can set up a route. If our boat left its slip and started to go out the channel, you'd actually see the boat going out. It would be the image would show it right over these charts and right over the underlying images. So you can see that this has a lot of useful tools that can be that would help you with your navigation. Now, one thing that's going to happen with the program at a later time is as you zoom in, the program's going to automatically load these other charts that have more detail. And that'll speed things up and it'll make it a lot easier to use. Right now, though, the user has to manually load each one that he wants and display it. One of the things that I think right now is that because of the overall chart under here, we're not seeing the Google Map picture that well under here. So I'm going to go back here, and this has to be the overall chart. So I'm going to turn that one off and apply it. Okay, and now we can see the edge of La Paz Harbor right here, the land area, and we can see how well this chart conforms to the satellite image. Now, there are a lot of other options to the MCG charts, or these are actually CM93s that have been converted to MCG, that you can use. Some of them I'll go into. In fact, let me close this window, and I'll go up here to MCG, and this option right here, Display Filter. And let's move this over to the side so we can see what happens better. Now, one of them is that you can either enable the text to be displayed, like if I uncheck this text enable and minimum scale box and say apply, you notice that all of the text that showed the different places is gone now. Just to show you again, watch, I'll check it and I'll apply. And you notice now the text is back, mangrove, sand dunes, all that kind of stuff, Playa Malecon, that's back. So if the text gets to be too cluttered or too annoying, you can get rid of it. As far as soundings are concerned, you can either turn the soundings off. There's applied. There's no soundings. You can turn them back on. Apply. There's the soundings. They're back. You can set the. You can have all soundings. You can select that you only want to see soundings less than 30 meters, or you only want to see soundings that are less than minimum safe depth. Okay. Minimum safe depth will be one thing that you set for your own vessel. Okay, that's another video. I'll show how you set that later. But anyway, right now we have all soundings. This figure right here is kind of an interesting one, and that is that figure is tied to the current zoom level. You know, it's up here. We can set the zoom. Right now we're at zoom level 15. Well, what you can say, you can tell it is you only want to see text if you're at that zoom level or zoomed in further. But if you zoom out from the zoom level, you want the text to disappear. Okay, and to show you how that works, you can say, okay, you want to set that. Okay, now it's set it. Now if I zoom out, you look for the text like sand dunes up here. I'll zoom out one step. And you notice that that text and all the other text is now gone. But if I zoom back in, now it's back again. Okay? And you can do the same thing for soundings. Metadata, I haven't quite figured that one out yet. You can turn on and off these different things. Like sector lights, those circles that you saw before, you can turn those on or you can turn them off. All kinds of things you can do. There's all different display filters you can set for your MCG charts. The last thing I want to show you is how to turn off the MCG charts. When we had the view menu up here, we were using the check boxes to turn them off and on. But we can unload the charts altogether. We have two options of doing that. We can either go to the file menu and we can select this one here called close charts and select the individual charts we want to close and get out of memory. Or we can go in here to the file menu again and say close all charts. This one here is really useful. I'm going to click it, show you what happens. And you see all of the MCG charts have been closed and they've been taken out of memory. I hope this overview of how to get the CM93s that are converted into MCGs into Marine Plotter has helped you, and I hope this gets you going. I hope to see you again in another video.